This is a series of videos talking about basic geometry. Today, to start with, let's learn the word geometry first. Geometry is a Greek word which consists of two parts. The prefix, called geo, it means earth, while the suffix, called metri, so it means measurement. So as a result, you can imagine this is a study talking about measurement on the earth. So it should be something about like the figures we know, like square, circle, triangle, or maybe those 3D shapes like pyramid, cylinder, etc. And then now we start from learning about geometry of a triangle here. For a triangle, you can see there are three vertices. Normally, we will use capital letter to represent them, so we call ABC. So ABC, they are capital letters referring to the points in the triangle. Next, we need a symbol to represent this triangle. So that's why we make use of the symbol triangle, put the letters together, triangle ABC, it means the triangle itself. So of course, we have different ways to name this triangle. We may also call it angle BAC, angle like CBA, etc. So but normally, we will put the letters into ascending order. Afterward, we will be talking about the length. Length, and then you will see there are three sides of the triangle. For example, we look at AB first. Let's say it is 7 cm. For this side, we will call it length, the side AB, and its length will be 7 cm. So that's why we will make use of the two capital letters to represent a side. Similarly, you can say the side BC, for example, is 5 cm here. The name of this side is called BC, and its value, the length, will be 5 cm. Lastly, of course, we need to talk about angles. To talk about angles, you will see there are three angles in the figure or in the triangle. One is the angle A, the other one would be angle B, and the last one would be angle C. Now let's pick angle A as an example. To this angle, the easiest way would be we call it angle A. And the other way would be we make use of like drawing. So this angle A should be from point B, drawing to point A, next drawing to point C to make this angle. So that's why we can also call this angle as angle BAC. Of course, in our reverse order, you can also call it angle CAB, so it's most welcome. In some occasions, we will also make use of small letters, repeat, small letters to represent the angle. For example, we may use a small letter A put next to the symbol of the angle over there. So as a result, we can also call it small a directly. But in this case, we need not to put the angle symbol here. No, because the small letter A itself is already means the angle itself. So as a result, for example, now we look at angle C. We have a way called this angle C. Can you write the three letters to represent the angle as well? Yes, that's good. So it can be angle B, let's see, angle BCA, or you can say angle ACB as well. You can also make use of a small letter C to represent it. So this is a small letter C. After knowing how to name a triangle, lengths, and its angles, now we come to have a deeper look on some special angles. To start with, we have a very well-known one called right angle, which is talking about 90 degrees. We have a very special symbol to represent it, which is talking about, for example, like in this right angle triangle, if we want to mark it very carefully, the position of 90 degrees, we should have a symbol here in this way. So when you read this symbol, that means there is a right angle triangle there. There's a word you should know as well. To this triangle, because there's a 90 degree, so that's why we have a special name called right angle triangle. After that, we have a name which is called acute angle. For example, we call it XC. So this acute angle means that the angle is sharp enough. That means it's a very small one ranging from 0 degree to 90 degree. For example, X can be this one, very sharp one at point A. For example, X can be a bit larger at point A here, so this is also called an acute angle. Afterward, if it exceeds 90 degrees, we have another name to talk about it. This is called obtuse angle. Obtuse angle itself is bigger than, for example, I call it angle Y. So this is an angle greater than 90 degrees, but smaller than 180 degrees. For example, this angle y will be called obtuse angle. For example, it's still at A. So it can be very large. Then this is also an example of obtuse angle. After that, so let's have a very quick exercise to see whether you identify the three special triangles. One is called acute angle triangle, right angle triangle, and obtuse angle triangle. Can you just pause the video for 10 to 20 seconds to see whether you can do the matching? The triangles now are arranged in alphabetical order from ABC, DEF, GHI, and so on. So let's receive my challenge. Alright, so I hope you can finish it. So let's start with the easiest one called right angle triangle. So this one, the main point would be you need to search for the symbol of right angle triangle like an angle B. So that's why it's a right angle triangle here. But be careful that in the case of GKL, triangle GKL, so the 90-degree symbol is not shown or drawn in the figure. So even though you think that, well, this one looks like 90 degree, sorry, if it's not mentioned, you cannot identify that it's an acute angle triangle. So afterward, you can continue to check for acute angle triangle. So the meaning of acute angle triangle is, for example, in DEF, you can see all the angles are less than 90. Then we categorize it as acute angle triangle. So as of the case of MNO, so it's also acute angle triangle. While for obtuse angle triangle, then the main point would be you have to search for one. Repeat, one. One of the angle is obtuse, that means greater than 90, less than 180. And these two triangles should belong to obtuse angle triangle. The last one, which is called GKL, this one, there's a mistake because it's not very clearly shown that this angle at K, should it be greater than 90 or less than 90? So that's why I will put a question mark here. Only when the angle K is given, for example, is 89 degrees, then I should know that it's acute angle triangle. If no information is shown about angle K, then it may be a bit difficult to just look at the triangle and see whether it's acute or obtuse angle triangle. After talking angles, then we come to lines. There are two special kinds of lines you should know. The first one will be parallel lines, in which we will be using a symbol of arrows to represent that the lines, for example, like AB and CD, they are parallel to each other. Now, please note that parallel doesn't mean that the length are the same. So what does that mean? For example, we can have a very short line AB and a very long line CD, which are parallel to each other. Parallel lines can be found in our daily life very simply. For example, you can see the railway here, and the lines should be parallel to each other, the first line and the second line. So if you like exercise, jogging, etc. on the sports ground, then you will see that the lines itself is also parallel to each other. After seeing two daily life examples about parallel lines, can you observe the feature of them? Yes, that's good. Parallel line itself, when you extend it, extend it, and extend it, extend it, and extend it, they won't join each other. For example, coming to the case when we have now the lines called ABCD, so if they are parallel to each other, then you are supposed to see AB and CD, they won't join each other anymore. AB and CD, they won't cut across or join each other. Next, we come to another very important concept called perpendicular lines. It is highly related to 90 degree because it's talking about the two lines makes a 90 degree as an angle. So what does that mean? For example, if we say AB perpendicular to CD, you will see there's a symbol here, so which is like a T shape, but it is inverted. It means that there are two situations. AB may be a short line in this way, while CD will be making another horizontal line over there. So that's why we will also make a 90 degree symbol over there. So this is the situation of AB perpendicular to CD. The other situation would be AB is a very long one, while CD cut across it. So in this case, we will also say AB perpendicular to CD because the two lines make a 90 angle. So it's very easy to find perpendicular lines in our daily life, including, for example, the first picture on top, which is talking about a car park. So because we have to divide the ground into several car parts for the vehicles, so that's why you will see this one is a perpendicular line. This is 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, and 90 degree here. So similarly, the other side, so the blue line here and the blue line horizontally, so you also see they mix several 90 degree. But to make it simpler, normally we will only draw one 90 degree in the figure. 90 degree will be very important in the old time or maybe in architecture because you will suppose a building should be perpendicular to the ground, right? So the left one is a very famous building in Hong Kong. This is a very beautiful building which was made up of lots of triangles, but yet it is vertically perpendicular to the ground. Or else the building will be dangerous or very strange like the right one in Italy, the Torre de Pisa. And then so this building is not built quite properly, and you can see that it's making a certain angle to the ground. So it's also why the building is very famous to the visitors. Now suppose you should have a very solid, very good understanding about basic geometry, including triangles, lengths, angles, and some special lines. Now we go back to triangle once again to see some more features about it. The first one is the easiest one, as it's also a very well-known one, talking about if there should be three angles in a triangle. For example, now in the figure we call it angle A, angle B, and angle C. For convenience, we use small letters to represent it, so they are called just small letter A, B, C only. The sum of them should be 180. We have a reason, which is called angle sum of triangle. Now we have a very quick intuition to see whether you understand or you can observe why the three angles add up to be 180. I'll just duplicate the triangle at the bottom in blue. Now can you imagine that, for example, if we cut from A vertically to the line BC, and now you will see there are two triangles on each side. One is on the left called triangle AB and with a certain point, and the other side would be made up of AC. Can you imagine that if we duplicate this triangle, maybe I just call it the yellow one, and then to rotate it, rotate means now you turn the triangle in this way. This is angle B, and then this is point B, and then you try to rotate it until it reaches the point A again. Can you see that the angle B will be moved here? Similarly, on the right hand side, you can also have a red triangle, and you also try to rotate it like in this way until you move the angle C to reach the point A after rotation. And finally, you will see that now the angle B, angle A, and angle C are put together on a straight line. So as a result, you can imagine that A plus B plus C will be 180 degrees. So in order to make it simpler, then we'll make use of a reason called angles of a triangle to represent or to elaborate the idea of having the three angles in a triangle. If we add them up, it should be 180 degrees. Finally, if you'd like to have some hands-on activity, you can go to this YouTube link and see how model to elaborate the idea of angle sum of triangle. Coming to the end of this video, we are going to see some examples to illustrate the idea of angle sum of triangle. The first one, so you can see 90 degree here, so make sure that you should know the symbol very well right now. In order to find the angle R, which is using a small letter A over there, we'll write as A plus 53 degree plus 90 degree. The three angles will compose a 180 because of the reason called angle sum of triangle. This one can be called as a reason, or you can say it is a reference to explain why the three angles add up to be 180, because we know the facts that angle sum of triangle here. Afterward, use your calculator very quickly, and you've got A is 37 degrees. Similarly, at number 2, so the only drawback would be, now you will see the unknowns are all, the angles are all different. It doesn't matter because they are all consist of B or related to B. So as a result, the three angles, B, 3B, and 6B will be 180 degrees as well. because of the reason called angle sum of triangle. Afterward, by algebra, you'll find there are tan B over there. That means B will be 18 degrees finally. So these two questions aim to find the unknowns in the figure. The first unknown is A, while the other unknown is B. But if a further question is asked for example, like you are asked for what is angle R, then you will see that R is about the A here, so that's why angle R will be 37 degrees as well. While, for example, in number 2, if you are asked to find angle S, then in this case, you should be using the result of B, which is 18, and angle S is 3B, so that's why it's 54 degrees. Not very difficult, right? Very good. Finally, we come to look at a harder question or complicated picture. And then in this question, you're asked for finding the unknowns x and y. To start with, you should be observing the triangles very carefully. First of all, we won't study triangle ADB at this stage because both x and y are known, so it's not good to start in this way. Instead, I would suggest you to start with the triangle called triangle ABC. Because in this situation, you can see we only include the angle x, which is one unknown in the question. So this is how I start the question. To make your presentation more precise and clearer, so that's why I will say we are now looking at triangle ABC, at which you have 90 degrees, 54 degrees, you have x and 14. If you like, you can add the brackets, or if you don't like it, you can miss it. And the sum will be 180 degrees over there. So don't forget that to write the reference called angle sum of triangle, but I have no space, I put it in the second line. Now pause for a few seconds, and now you can check your calculator to see the result. And it should be x is 22 degrees. Not very difficult, right? After finishing or finding the value of x, then y will be a pretty easy matter. Now you can take a look on triangle ABD, which x 20 degrees is found already, y is the unknown, and you have a 90 degree over there. So once again, it's say 180 degree because of the reason called angle sum of triangle. And finally, will be 68 degree for the value of y. So the question itself is not, or calculation is not very difficult. So it just consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 lines over there. But you have to do a study before you work on the question. For example, we won't start with the yellow triangle because there are two unknowns. Repeat, because of two unknowns, it's definitely a good choice for you to start from. Whereas we will look at the bigger one, the red one, in order to seek for the values of x.